Being free from all levels of desire is a spiritual concept that seems like an impossible task because it's human nature to want. And I don't necessarily think that desire is a bad thing, because without it we wouldn't have built the greatest companies, or witnessed masterful performances, or constructed modern day metropolises. I think there's an important distinction that needs to be made between desire for the material and our innate desire to build and provide. Because the truth is, every person watching this needs something larger than them to continue going. Whether that's their business or an idea or a philosophy that they live by. Basically your ikigai. Because when you're in the pursuit of something that is larger than you and it serves someone beyond you, then your greatest works are born. And it works on you just as much as you work on it. It's as if this North Star that you've anchored yourself to pulls your highest version of yourself out. And in the end, it was never actually about the attainment of the goal, it was about who you became. No matter what age you are, I think you need to be project maxing. That is to say, building, creating, serving, or working on a project that is bigger than you. And why? Because it's the purest form of self-actualization that you can have. That is your dharma, that is your purpose, that is your work here. And when you lose that, you lose purpose. But let's come back to that. What do I mean by having everything is cool, but not wanting anything is cooler? Well, I'm lucky enough to have been through the cycles of desire over and over again. Enough times to notice the endless loop that it creates. You see, you want something, you obsess endlessly over it, you channel all your energy into getting it, and then maybe you do get it, but then it's not very long until your eyes are set on something else. And this has happened to me countless times, whether it be with cars or clothes or business revenue. And it's the exact same cycle I help founders and creators break out of, by reclaiming their seat as conscious co-creators. If you want help doing that and working one-to-one with me, then click the first link in the description below. But anyway, it's this constant chase for something new. It's this idea of novelty. Now, objectively, is this a bad thing? No, because it pushes you forward, and at a very rapid rate. Like I said, some of the greatest works in the world are born thanks to this desire. The only issue is it becomes a hedonic treadmill, which means an endless pursuit. And at the end of each rainbow that you arrive at, there's never enough gold in the pot. So what do I mean by not wanting anything? This doesn't mean that you lose desire, and I think it's far from it. But you understand that no thing is the reason that you're actually doing it. No thing can own you. When I was younger, I desired the houses, the cars, the fame, or whatever else it may be. When I got older, I desired to have none of those things. But as I've got wiser, I understand that I can have those things as long as it's not the sole reason I'm doing it. As long as they don't own me and they come naturally as a byproduct of my work. Now I feel like there's nothing you could dangle in front of me to make me jump ship. I don't want what most people are programmed to want, because I know that I can have it. I would never sell my soul for the bag. I would never beg for opportunities to be put on. The invite arrives as soon as you don't want to go to the party, and that's why I'm delivered more of it. It's kind of like a child who wants a toy. The more they're told that they can't have it, the more that desire builds up inside of them, and then ultimately they just crash out. See, nothing changes as you grow older except the toy, and most people crash out when they're told that they can't have what they want. But what if you didn't want it? It's a paradox, because that's when you actually get it. I spoke about this at length in my Law of Detachment video. If you want to watch that, then it will be up here somewhere. It's everything I know about detachment in 9 minutes or less. But am I saying that you shouldn't have goals? No. Whatever you focus on, you will get with enough time and effort and iteration. I'm saying that if you do the work for the sake of the work, and your sense of self is so strongly rooted within you, then nothing can manipulate you or sway you. On some level, I guess you could say I don't want the subscribers. I don't want the client. I don't want the guests of my show. And being free from this attachment is what allows me to create this level playing field and magnetize those things to me. I'm reminded of this parable of the king and the peasant. The king invites a peasant to a dinner party, and all of the king's friends are showing off and saying, oh, look at this crown that he has, or this armor that he has, or this gold cup that he has. And the peasant acknowledges all of those items and replies, but I have something that he will never have. And all of the friends laughed and looked at him and said, what is it that you possibly could have that he doesn't have or can't get? And he said, enough. Now this is a parable. I'm not saying that you should be a peasant, but how about a wise king or queen? One who with or without the throne remains unchanged and unshakable. Having everything is cool, don't get me wrong, the cars, the lifestyle, the watches, but genuinely not wanting it brings you everything anyway, and that's why it's probably cooler. From all of the wealthy people I have in my network, the 8 and 9 figure earners, and even my own clients, they all go through this cycle. Chase, earn, then give back. See, the answers you're looking for are not in the next thing. They might be in the next project or idea, because the process, like I said, unlocks this next evolution of self. It's the alchemy that happens when you commit yourself to just doing the thing that is ahead of you and not focusing on the outcome. You're transformed into the person that you're supposed to be, the person that is worthy, and the you 2.0 that already has acquired all of those things that you desire right now. The great ones don't do it for money or power or even to save the world. They do it just for the sake of doing it. And that's the only way you create sustainable change in your life and transformation in your life and continue down the path of evolving yourself. Set goals, yes. Have nice things, definitely. But ultimately, becoming who you're supposed to be is not going to be given to you by a byproduct of any of these trinkets you pick up along the way, whether it's the car, the watch, the house, the lifestyle. They can't be your primary driver. Because think about it for a second. When you have set goals in the past and you've achieved them and you said they would make you happy, how long did they actually make you happy for? Probably not for a long time, and you've moved on to the next thing. So like I said, whilst you can have everything, it probably isn't the answer that you're looking for, and it's definitely not the fulfillment that you're looking for. If you can genuinely create or build or serve from a place of no attachment to an outcome or no attachment to the things that you're going to pick up along the way, I guarantee your progress is going to be 10 times more. You're going to accelerate past the people who are only doing it for the material items or the lifestyle or the watches or the cars. If you're good with those things and good without those things, then you're going to go a lot further. So no, I'm not giving you this traditional spiritual advice where it says that desire is born within us and we need to kill it. I don't think that's the right approach, in my opinion, so far anyway. I think that you should channel desire into the correct things, and you should channel desire into the process that unlocks your best and highest self. So like I said, once you do that, then it's all about who you become in the process of getting there and not actually what happens when you get there. I had this idea of the arrival fallacy. It's this idea that once we arrive somewhere, then life is complete. You know, we think that we're going to arrive once we hit a certain amount of revenue in our business or a certain amount of property or a certain amount of followers. But the best thing you can do is burn your finish line and understand that there is no arrival. So ultimately what I'm trying to say is, yes, you can have the nice things along the way, and it doesn't mean that you can't and you have to renounce everything and go and meditate in the mountains like a monk, but simply release your attachment to them and understand that operating from a place of purely doing it just for the sake of doing it and not wanting anything is what's going to bring you everything in the end. Don't let novelty or the next shiny thing distract you from your mission that you set out to do in the first place.